Hello, everybody, and welcome back, race fans and people of all ages. We welcome you to tonight's running of the USCRL Xfinity Series race live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. My name is Dale Reynolds, and I will be in the booth with you, bringing you flag-to-flag coverage of tonight's event here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Here we are catching up with the guys in the middle of their happy hour run. The guys have just had their drivers meeting. They've just all been briefed on the rules for tonight. 100 laps here at the 1.5 mile D-shaped oval of Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Expect some very high speeds. You see Steve Deo on track right now. Currently fastest in happy hour. Taking a look at him, just kind of following him around. You see some of the speeds. We've got the telemetry up here on the bottom of the screen. 183 miles per hour looks like going into turn one. These Xfinity cars don't have fuel injection like the Cup cars, and they actually have a little bit of a smaller carburetor. But you see these cars still make pretty impressive horsepower, and they're getting a lot of speed down the straightaways. So these cars are handling very good. Downforce definitely, obviously, a key factor here. The Xfinity cars don't really have a low downforce, at least not this time around. They don't have a low downforce package like the Cup guys. So a lot of downforce on these cars means a lot of grip, means a lot of high-speed action. Not a whole lot of throttle let off, and the talk around the garage is, once again, these right front tires. You can really haul tail around this track with new tires, and what it does, it'll end up tearing up the right front tire. So when it tears up that right front tire, obviously you can run into some big troubles here as we pull up the official spreadsheet here. Only 5 drivers have taken the track. Looks like a number of drivers have turned laps, but none of them have officially put laps up yet. But Steve Dale currently, again, the fastest in final practice at 29:56. Chris Melton is actually on the pole tonight. They just wrapped up qualifying. We unfortunately brought you in at a right after qualifying. So, but yeah, we're gonna sit here and bring you all the live flag coverage. Again, my name is Dale Reynolds, and I know I sound like a stuttering idiot. I know Kevin Kelly, unfortunately, was not feeling very good. He ended up having a big trip out to, I believe it was Maryland, and we let him have the day off to relax. So here we are doing it. Yours truly doing it solo in the booth this evening, and hopefully we bring great coverage to you guys. So once again, here's the here is the list of drivers, at least the board for happy hour. Steve Dale currently showing fastest, 29:56. Jerry Hinkle, he is second fastest at 29:61. Kevin Kelly Jr., who's been on a tear in this series, he's in third at 29:70. John Cross in fourth, Frankie Samato in fifth. All in general, looking at these top 5 guys here in happy hour, and also in the races, in qualifying trim as well, the field was very, very close. Again, these cars, you can go wide open for the first, 4 or 5 laps or so. So it's almost like when you qualify, it's almost like a restrictor plate race. There's times are very close. There's very little let off in the first couple of laps. So. It's going to be some wild racing for sure. And Las Vegas primarily is only a single groove track, but with the way that these Xfinity cars drive and the way the tires fall off, I would not be surprised at all to see lanes 2 and 3 start opening
Copy
up.
that.
And here we are, getting ready for the race here.
And the home of the
Gentlemen, start your
Let's
engine!
get ready today, guys. It's going to be a long race. Let's not make any mistakes out there. Let's hit our mark.
This race, we got, I believe, 18 on the list here. We're going to try and get kind of go through the starting grid here. Starting on the pole for tonight, Chris Melton in the number 89, Trump for President Chevrolet Camaro Z28. He is on the pole tonight. Kevin Kelly Jr. in an unlikely car. It's an unsponsored primer gray number 5 Chevy Camaro. get going here. Ron Caranci starting third at number 77, Caranci Grape Juice, number 77, Camaro. Starting fourth, Frank Samato, and number 22, Caterpillar
Coming to the green.
Camry. Starting fifth is Rob Merlino, and at number 27, and sixth, Steve Dale, and at number 14, Bad Boy Buggies Ford Mustang. Starting, oops, we gotta pull it up here. I gotta get my stuff all pulled up here. I know low production value, but that's all right though, right? Starting seventh here, Jerry Hinkle, and number 12, K&N Chevy Camaro. Starting eighth, Jerry Watson, and number 17, Dreamland Chevy Camaro. John Cross starting ninth here, and at number 36, K&N Chevy Camaro. Brian Neal starting 10th at number 32, BG and Ross Auto Glass Chevy Camaro. John Kruger, this looks like he's given up his spot. He's going to start in the tail end, but he's listed to start 11th. He's in at number 4, 2015.
Let's get some heat pressures in those tires.
Chevrolet SS. He should be in that. Should be 2016. Norman Kraft, 88 Mountain Dew Diet Mountain Dew Camaro starting 12th. Ben Rinaldi starting 13th.
Green, green, green.
Jockman, the green flag is out. Frank Jockman's starting 14th. Sorry guys, couldn't get through the start in time. The green flag is out. We're underway here at Las Vegas. Chris Melton leads lap 1. It was a fairly eventful start, but relatively calm at the same time. I don't know how you can explain that one. Nope, we got a battle for the lead here. Chris Melton getting passed by Kevin Kelly Jr. on the inside. Chris Melton did lead the first lap. He gets a bonus point for that. Kevin Kelly Jr., who, as we said, has been on a tear all season long in the USCRL series. He takes the lead here, is looking to get a bonus point for leading laps. Take a look through here. We got a little bit of a nice battle here for about 5th place. Jerry Watson here on the outside of Ron Caranci. Again, these tires and these cars can go wide open for the first 3 to 5 laps or so. And it's been primarily a single groove track, at least through most of happy hour and through qualifying. It's been a single car pack, but you can see multiple lanes already, and I wonder maybe if the drivers are trying to lay rubber down and try to get it a little bit more racy a little bit early, or maybe it's just the track conditions are different than they were in qualifying and happy hour that's giving them that second and third lane. Look at Steve Deo here. Steve Deo going underneath Kevin Kelly Jr. here. Kelly Jr. doesn't hold on to the lead for too long. Steve Deo, the number 14 Bad Boy Buggies Ford Mustang, takes the lead going down the backstretch and into turn 3. Kevin Kelly Jr. riding in second. He's currently right behind Jerry Watson, who's in third. Jerry Watson off to a good start. That team has had some struggles recently, and they definitely need a good run to get the morale boosted up a little bit. So definitely, I know it's not the end of the race yet, but he's looking pretty strong right now. He's in third, and definitely needs a good run tonight, that's for sure. You see in 4th place, Chris Melton, our pole sitter. He's already fallen to 4th. Who knows? He could be taking a little bit more of a conservative approach. Again, we know that we can run wide open with these cars the first 3 to 5 laps on tires before the tires start to give up. So you think he might be trying to play a little bit conservative, a little bit early, just saving his tires for when it comes down to the end of the run. Hopefully he can get back around those guys and get back up to the 1st place position. Rob Merlino, he is in 5th right now, and he is doing pretty good in that number 27 Chevy Camaro. He's in 5th. Another guy who's looking for another solid run. John Cross is in number 36. He's in 6th. We got a pretty good battle here for about the 9th position. Jerry Hinkle up on the outside. He's up on the outside of Ron Caranci and Norman Crafton at number 88 Diet Mountain Dew Chevy. Got a nice little battle going on here for these positions. We kind of get a ride on board with Jerry Hinkle here. These dynamic cameras, everything looks so amazing with these dynamic cameras. You see Jerry Hinkle looks like he's going to be trying to maybe making a move on Frankie Simano here for the 7th position. Just going to kind of run through the field real quick. Ben Rinaldi in 10th right now. And that number 42 Cessna Chevy Camaro. Ron Caranci 11th. He started a little bit up front. He's lost a couple of positions early here. I don't know if he's the cruise guy. I don't know if the car's maybe not handling right. He just lost 11th to Frank Jackman there. So I don't know if he's taking it easy or if he might, you know, the car's just not handling up to his liking. But he was definitely a little bit faster in qualifying. Perhaps the team made some pretty poor adjustments, or maybe the driver just not agreeing with the car with different track conditions. Ben Britton in 13th. He's always somebody to watch out for. Ben Britton is one of the strategy gurus here in this league. Almost kind of like a Paul Wolf and Brad Keselowski. They're always trying to figure out a way to pull strategy off and try to sneak away with some wins. He ended up winning a NASCAR 88 series race over at Rockingham on fuel strategy when nobody thought they could make it on fuel, and he ended up winning the race over Kevin Kelly Jr. It was a close win, but he ended up taking the win. So unless he gets up front here, I think he's just kind of riding around, but he should just, you know, he's kind of riding, it looks like he's just riding around here for a little bit. And you see Kevin Ring in 14th and the number 37. Definitely one of the more extravagant cars you see in the field. It's they got the whole Jay and Silent Bob paint scheme on there. The View Askew Productions and the number 37 Jay and Silent Bob Ford Mustang there. That's definitely a cool looking car for sure. Jeff Norway in the number 54 Mountain Dew Kickstart Chevy Camaro. He is currently in 15th. Jay Kugler and again in the 04. He chose to start in the back. Oh, he makes a little contact with the wall off of turn 4. That's I don't see any damage on the right side of his vehicle, but he did choose. He quoted to start in 11th, but he ended up giving up his spot there on the warm-up lap to start in the tail end of the field. And Brian Neal's in 17th in the number 32 BG Ross Auto Glass Chevy Camaro. John Peterson is bringing up the tail of the field here in the number 18 Toyota Chevy. Wow. Okay. There's so many Camaros in this race. It's almost a tongue twister when you have to say anything different. But he's in the number 18 Toyota Camry. Excuse me. Going back up front here, Steve Deo still has the lead, but just like we thought, Chris Melton has taken over second place, and it looks like he's getting ready to hound Steve Deo for the lead. Looks like those few extra laps that he took it easy versus these guys running up front and going a little bit harder. Those tires are starting to even out and even might be coming back to Chris Melton here as your pole sitter is. He's back up front. There he goes underneath Chris Melton underneath Steve Deo looking for the lead in turn 1, and it looks like he's going to take it with relative ease. There he goes. Chris Melton back out to the lead in front here in Las Vegas. See if we ride on board with him. Steering wheel looks very smooth. I don't see him moving the steering wheel around too much. He's driving a very comfortable car right now. Again, these Xfinity cars have a lot more downforce than the Cup cars, so these cars turn very easy. It gives off the illusion that the cars could be a little bit more tight when they're really not. So again, looks like he's driving a very comfortable race car right now as we see Kevin Kelly Jr. way to the apron, almost in the grass on the front stretch. He's going to try and take second place from Steve Deo here. We got a nice little battle for second heating up. And it looks like Kevin Kelly Jr. in the number 5. He takes second place from Steve Deo. Steve Deo drops in right underneath to try and stay in that draft wake. And Kevin Kelly Jr., what can we say about the kid? He's been on a tear in the USCRL series this year. He's won, I believe, about 7 races, and this is when the USCRLs were in the trucks, and the USCRLs are now running Xfinity cars, which is the reason why it's now Xfinity. If you guys were expecting to see trucks, which it usually has been, but Kevin Kelly Jr. obviously, again, very dominant with the trucks in the USCRL series, and looks like even with the Xfinity cars, I mean, nothing's really changed. He's definitely up front, and You know, he's looking for another win. He's got a number of wins already, so kid's always hungry. Keep an eye on that number 5 car. Also keep an eye on his 14 car as well. Steve Dale, again, another great driver. Rob Merlino is in 4th right now, and he's kind of in a happy place. So, you know, I talk about that all the time. Talking about the happy place on the racetrack. If you take a look at where he's at right now, as we use our dynamic camera to go around, he's not exactly right behind those front 3 guys. He's about a second and a half behind them. So he's got a little bit of ways in front of him, and the guys behind him are about another second and a half behind him. So he's all by himself. And what I mean by the happy place is that he can sit here. He doesn't have anybody challenging him. He's not working on passing anybody. What he's doing right now, he's just riding around. He can hit his marks. He can kind of drive around nice and easy. He's got no pressure out the front or out the back. And that's something that, especially in a smaller track, if we go to Bristol or Martinsville or even a Darlington or a Dover, that is something that you really want to have, is just to be able to run by yourself. And it looks like John Cross is entering pit road here. Oh, we have an issue with John Cross. Uh-oh, it looks like he's got a flat tire up. Does that look like? That looks like a right front tire. It looks like he's been into the wall too. He's got some right front damage, and he's got some right side door damage as well. Let's see if we can go back and pick up where what may have happened here. We kind of rewind everything. We go back about a lap before. We're gonna ride on board with him. And John Cross is in turn 1. Oh, there, you see it right there. You see how the right front tire, the right front corner of the car just dropped? He blew a right front tire and sent him straight into the wall, and that was a pretty hard impact as well. He just got sent straight into the wall. And especially with these Xfinity cars, again, we mentioned that these Xfinity cars have a lot more downforce, a little bit more aero than the Cup cars. And, you know, that body damage can really hurt the aerodynamics of the car. Not only that, but with the way he hit that wall hard, I would not be surprised at all if there was some kind of mechanical damage underneath the car. It could be some suspension damage. You know, it could be something like a bent tie rod. It could knock the toe out of the car. You know, it could create just a bad situation, a really bad situation. And unfortunately, it's not looking like a good start to his race for John Cross. So. We got another driver, looks like is entering pit road. Kevin Ring looks like he's entering pit road. See if we can pull it up. Jerry Hinkle is on pit road. Got a lot of cars pitting. I don't know if this is scheduled stops or not. We've got 22 laps out of the way. I think that's it's a little short. Usually pit road, you know, your average tire span and your fuel window is about 34 laps. So these guys are pitting a little bit earlier than we're expecting. So I don't know if it might be strategy. I don't know if the guys' tires are just wearing out big time. You see Kevin Ring on pit road and Jerry Watson on pit road. Don't know if this is a strategy call, if it's something that they really had, they picked up something on the tires. They really had to get into pit road. Don't know if that's the case, but, you know, obviously our front 3 right now, Chris Melton, Kelly Jr., and Steve Deo, not only are these guys fast, but these guys have not pit yet. So it could be something setup-wise that the other guys are doing that some of these other guys are not. Could be running more extreme camber. They could be running just, in general, more aggressive setups that cause the tires to burn up even more. So, again, Chris Melton is out in the lead. He took the lead he took the lead from Steve Deo, and he's been out front. And Kevin Kelly Jr., has been right behind him this entire time, not really letting him get anywhere. He hasn't really tried to make a pass for the lead, but he's also not letting him get away either. I bet you Kelly Jr. is probably just riding around right now. Could be just saving his stuff. And you see that right there. You see what Jr. was doing. Kelly Jr. was trying to intentionally keep his car lower on the track than Chris Melton. Again, I keep bringing it up with aerodynamics. Oh, Chris Melton in the wall, flat tire. Oh no, that's not good. The leader of the race, Chris Melton, and your pole sitter, flat tire going into turn 3. That is an unfortunate break for Chris Melton as he was leading this race. Oh man, let's see if we can go back and take a look here. That is unfortunate. See Chris Mellon is just kind of driving into turn 3 here. And driving in. All of a sudden, it just lets go. The right front corner of the car just drops down. That right front tire blew. And wow. And that's just, you know what? And Steve Dale and Kelly Jr. hit right when that happened. I don't know if it's because they were trying to avoid him and they said, all right, well, we've already slowed down. Might as well come in and pit. Or, you know, that would even be much more of an unfortunate break. Because if Chris Mellon was actually planning on coming into pit road that lap, that turn, to come into pit road, and unfortunately the tire goes flat. So wow, unfortunate break for him. That's not good. That's really not good. You see, he's still slow on the apron. I don't know if his pit crew. I don't know if he was even able to stop in his box because he's rolling around on the apron very slow, and he's got a flat tire. He's got smoke everywhere. So we'll have to keep an update on Chris Melton. As we see, you know, obviously with Kelly Jr. and Steve Dale pitting, we've got a new leader, Frankie Simonto. Frankie Simonto, great driver, another guy who likes to push strategy. Simonto, very smooth and, you know, not maybe as so much as aggressive as some of these other guys, just trying to get as many laps as he can before his right front tire blows. And just like we said, you know, at the top of the show, you know, right front tires have been an issue all practice and all weekend long here at this race. It looks like John Peterson's finally going to come on down to pit road here in a number 18 Toyota. He's going to get on to pit road without any issue, which is a good thing because we've been seeing cars have tire issues left and right with these right front tires. Kevin Kelly Jr. is unlapping himself. There he is. He's in third. Chris Mellon has moved to the garage, unfortunately, so tough break for him. It looks like that shot to the outside wall, unfortunately, was it caused a whole bunch of damage. Chris Mellon is in the garage. We'll have to try to catch up with him and see if we can get a couple of words from him. So Kevin Kelly Jr. is now in second, but he's almost a full lap down to Frankie Simonto. Frankie Simonto is really pushing the strategy and really pushing his tires here. Frankie Simonto definitely out there trying to maybe pull some strategy. I don't know, maybe not. You know, maybe this is what they had planned the entire time. Again, we did mention that some of the faster guys obviously came in a little bit early versus, you know, what the fuel window was, trying to get some fresh tires and get back out there and gain some time. Steve Dale currently in third in the number 14 Bad Boy Buggies Ford Mustang. He's in third, and again, he is on the tail end of the lead lap here. And this is going to be big because if a caution happens to come out with Frankie Simonto not pitting, there you see him right there. He's coming in now. If a caution were to come out and Frankie still had not pit, that would put a whole bunch of drivers a lap down, and that could really screw up strategy as far as, you know, what some of these other teams have been running. Ben Rinaldi is showing in fourth, and I think when it cycles back through, he'll be showing in third, depending on where Frank Simonto merges back into the track. But Ben Rinaldi having a nice solid run in the number 42 Cessna Chevy Camaro. And Rob Merlino, again, another staying pretty consistent. He's going to be in fourth once the pit cycle goes through. There you go. You see it right there. He jumps up to fourth. Ben Britton has steadily moved his way up into the top five. He's silent. He's a silent kid, but he's definitely he's definitely a threat. Don't let the silence and the confusion confuse you, if that makes any sense. But, yeah, there he is in fifth, and he's doing pretty good right there. Frank Jockman is in sixth, and the number looks like it's the 06 American stock car. Jerry Hinkle is in seventh after this round of pit stops. Jerry Watson is eighth. Mr. Kugler is in ninth. Ron Caranci rounds out your top 10, and the number 77 Canadian, sorry, I'm going to screw this one. Excuse me, Caranci Great Juice Chevy Camaro. If we check out these dynamic cameras, I really like these dynamic cameras. Here's Jeff Norway on the outside of Ron, trying to take over a top 10 position. It looks like he's going to do it with ease, and you see Jeff Norway is way out to the outside. Maybe I think this track is starting to rubber in a little bit with all the cars that are on the track. Looks like a couple of different groups are starting to play out. You can see even right here as we go up to Mr. Kugler in 8th and Jerry Watson, or excuse me, Kugler in 9th and Jerry Watson in 8th. You can see that there's a bunch of different grooves. You see Hinkle's kind of riding about the second lane up, and Jerry Watson again on the bottom of the track. And the importance about that, you see the run that Jerry Watson is getting on Hinkle right there. What he did, he went a lane lower, which kept the air on the nose of his car, kept giving him downforce and the ability to turn. He was able to turn, come off the corner, and he got a run on Jerry Hinkle, and he passed him for 7th place. So that's the importance right there. You see it all the time in the Cup Series. You see it all the time in any professional series. When you're trying to pass somebody who's maybe running your lane, you got to get out of their draft wake and keep getting the downforce on their vehicle, or on your vehicle, excuse me. And it helps you turn into the center of the corner, and helps you turn off of the corner as well, and helps you get a good run. You can see her even right here with the leader. Steve Dale was about a half lane up, and he kind of came back down behind Kelly Jr. But you can see that he was about a half lane up. He was getting the downforce on the right side of the car, which helped him and allowed him to make that turn, keep turning down on the exit of the corner, maybe get a little bit of a run. So unfortunately, with Chris Melton's bad break, Kevin Kelly Jr. now now inherits the lead, quote unquote. Now that Frankie Samanto has pit, and Chris Melton unfortunately blew a tire and hit the wall with some big damage there. He pulled it behind the garage, behind the wall. And these two leaders right now have about a 4.5 second lead on Ben Rinaldi. Now the question is, these guys short pit. Are these guys going to be short pitting for the rest of the race? They're going to try to make a strategy out of it, because these guys have been really going quite fast, and like I said, they've got a huge gap on 3rd place of Ben Rinaldi. So I'd like to think that these guys may be pushing their tires a little bit harder. Hopefully that they don't have any tire issues, because again, we've been seeing that all weekend long, these right front tires having issues with having right front tire failures. So we're just going to check in with the board here. You see 40 laps are complete here. Kevin Kelly Jr. in the lead, Steve Deo 2nd, Ben Rinaldi is in 3rd, Robert Merlino is in 4th, Ben Britton 5th, Frank Jockman in 6th, Jerry Watson in 7th, Jeff Norway in 8th, Ron Caranci in 9th, Jerry Hinkle rounds out the top 10. Frank Samato, who stayed out a long time versus the other drivers, he's in 11th right now. He's about 18 seconds back. James Kugler is in 12th, Kevin Ring is in 13th, Norman Kraft 14th, John Cross 15th, John Peterson in 16th. Those 3 drivers are a lap down. Brian Niels is in 17th. He is showing 4 laps down. Chris Mellon, unfortunately, out of the race after 27 laps. We're just going to take a quick, short break right here, guys. We're going to come back to it real quick, but stay tuned. We're going to stay up on the screen, but we're going to bring you all the action. We'll just be right back. right, everybody. Welcome back to tonight's USCRL Xfinity Series race live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Dale Reynolds in the booth with you, coming back from a commercial break. Some people have decided to pit once again. It looked like Jerry Hinkle was one of the first takers there. You see John Cross. Oh, has he got another tire down? I think he might have another tire down. It definitely looks that way. He's got a little bit more damage on the right side of the vehicle. Came back just from break. You saw him on the apron of the track as we came right from break. Let's see if we can just rewind here and see maybe what happened. Going back a little ways there. Looks like he was way off the pace. Going back a couple of laps here, see if we can ride on board. Looks like he's getting underneath the 27 there. Oh, that's not good. Looks like he was trying to get underneath the 27 car, and what happened was he clipped the apron. It de-wedged the car, especially with the banking here at Las Vegas. The banking is fairly steep for a speedway. I believe it's 24 degrees of banking in these turns. When you hit the apron with the left side of the car, it de-wedges the car and it'll make it snap to the left so very badly. And what happened was it snapped left and he couldn't hang on to it, unfortunately. And he hit the left side of the car pretty hard. Now he's got equal damage on both sides of the car, on the left front corner and the right front corner. You see him just kind of riding around there. You see as we pick back live, he's made his pit stop and gotten back out on the track. But another unfortunate break, he had a right front tire issue earlier. Yeah, but that issue is just kind of compounding everything else. He's currently 17th right now. He's unfortunately the last car running. He's showing 6 laps down right now. So his rough night will continue, unfortunately. We do have a couple takers here on pit road here for looks like the second bout of green flag pit stops. That's right, it's been caution free this entire race. So very good racing on everybody's part. No cautions yet. Frank Jockman has hit pit road from 8th position. Kind of scrolling through. Ben Britton is in 4th and he's on pit road as well. Rob Merlino, Steve Deo, Kelly Jr. These guys are still out, and these guys are staying out. If I remember correctly, these guys went a couple laps longer than some of the others that were pitting. But again, Frankie Simonto, I mean, he stayed out longer than anybody else on that run. He is currently showing at 5th, and he is quite a ways back. I'm showing 16 seconds behind. 16 seconds at this track is about 3/4-ish of a lap down. So hopefully he can catch a break and probably try to gain some of that time back. You see Rob Merlino hitting pit road. He's hitting pit road from 3rd place. Ron Caranci now takes over the 3rd spot. And up front, Kelly Jr. still leading, and Steve Deo is in 2nd. Steve Deo is falling off just a little bit as you see a bunch of lap cars. Look at this. You see a lot of lap cars going around the leaders, and they're hungry. They got fresh tires. They know the leaders are on older tires. They're trying to essentially unlap themselves because strategy has been very important here. We know that Frank Simonto, looks like Steve Deo is signaling he's coming into pit road this time by. Frank Simonto stayed out quite a while longer than some of these other people, and heaven forbid if a caution were to come out while in the middle of the pit sequences, it could really throw off strategy on everybody's part. You can get stuck a lap down, and then from that on, you're just trying to get back on the lead lap and try to get what you can at that point. So it's important for these lap guys to get around the leaders and unlap themselves as soon as possible, hopefully without the caution coming out. You see that Jerry Hinkle is doing that along with Frank Jockman. They're unlapping themselves right now as Kevin Kelly Jr. stays out another lap. Kevin Kelly Jr. to number 5. It's kind of weird. There's a funny story behind this is that his team, the reason why he's unsponsored and it's a primer gray vehicle. Apparently they had just thrown this car together in the shop, and they said, "Here, we're gonna go to Las Vegas." No time to get a sponsor deal or anything. This is just a race car that the guys at EPR built and put together. Soon you see Junior's now coming onto pit road, but this is a car that they just kind of threw together and said, all right, we're going to race this race at Las Vegas. So no time to get any sponsor commitments, no time to really do anything. They just made a car, painted it primer gray, and sent it out on his way. So, so that'll be really interesting indeed. Ron Caranci. Now that Junior's in pit road, Ron Caranci's going to
Caution's
inherit the
out.
lead. And the caution is out. Oh, and a big wreck. Neil's on his roof. Oh, what a terrible ride. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, wow. All right, we have to see what's going on here. We're going to get a replay here. He was on his roof, and that is scary to see.
Pace cars, let's get caught up.
Well, it looks like he's coming on pit road. He's low on the apron. He's out of everybody's way. He gets loose. And... oh, no. He just got hit. Oh, that is terrible to see. That is terrible. That was... oh, man. I hope that Brian is okay in that car, because that was a very hard hit indeed. So... he's coming on the pit road. It looks like he's just slow on the apron, and for whatever reason, I don't know if he had a tire down or a mechanical failure with the car, but he just kind of looped it around. And oh wow, nowhere for the 06 car to go. Oh, that is a bad break for both of those drivers, and I'm hearing that Brian Niels is okay. That is a good thing to hear, because that was not a soft hit at all. We're just going to take another look at that quick here.
Pit road's open this time by. Lead lap cars only.
Going in slow motion here, you see Brian Niels. Here he is. And he's just kind of, what happens is he gets kind of up on the track. Oh, and there's just nowhere for the 06 car to go. Right into the driver's door. Oh, wow. And Jerry, look at Hinkle. He just drove right through there. He probably needs a new pair of shorts seeing that one. Oh, Jerry Hinkle probably needs a new pair of shorts after seeing that one. Wow. See if we can get on board here with Jerry Hinkle here, get his perspective of everything. There we are. So you see the wreck happening up in front of him, and there's the 06. Oh, wow. Wow. That was close. That was very close indeed. But, you know, unfortunate break for the 06 car. Unfortunate break for Brian Niels as well. Brian Niels is out for the race. And so is Frank Jockman in that 06. It looks like they're out of the race, unfortunately. That was a very bad wreck. That was very bad indeed. Very, very glad to hear that Brian Niels walked away from that car under his own power. So the guys are under caution here, and again, this is going to throw strategy big time, because Ron Caranci still had yet to pit. Look at all these cars out in front of Ron Caranci right now. These are all cars that have already pit and are going to be probably taking the wave around. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Pit road's open this
6,
time by.
7, I'm showing about 9 or 10 cars here that are going to be taking this wave around. So this really throws strategy quite a bit. Kelly Jr., again, he was on pit road when the caution came out. Let's see if we have any takers here, those that are on the lead lap. I'm showing 5 cars on the lead lap here, guys. So, wow. Unbelievable caution. You see Steve Deo is, he's the last car on the lead lap right now. Ron Merlino is showing on the tail end of the lead lap. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars here are going to be taking the wave around to stay on the lead lap with their fresh tires. So, wow, just a strategy. And the first caution of the night is quite a big one here at Las Vegas. Let's see if we can get in with our in-race reporter. Our in-race reporter tonight is Kevin Kelly Jr. Kevin Kelly Jr., this is Dale Reynolds in the booth. Do you have a copy, sir?
I got you, Dale.
Well, we just saw the wild wreck right there with Brian Niels and everything, but tell us how your race is going so far. You been up there in the lead, and Chris Melton blew a tire. Looks like you got a pretty fast car for just a primer gray number 5 Chevy Camaro there. How's your night going so far?
Yeah, the guys back at the shop put a good package together for this race, and first run we kind of just tested out how the tires would go. and we ended up actually blowing up the right front as we hit pit road, so we got lucky on that. But the second run, we really found out what we had with conserving tires, and I think we got a really good number 5 EPR Chevrolet.
10-4 on that, Kelly Jr. A lot of right front tire issues happening recently. You know, you said that that first run, you said you blew the right front tire going into pit road. How about this second run? Is there any concern of the number 5 camp with right front tires?
Lap down cars moving up the
Actually,
inside.
it went from the right front to the right rear. Actually, started coming apart there. We ran the car a little bit different, and I guess just the line we chose started tearing up the right front more in the right front, or right rear. I'm sorry.
10-4 on that, Kelly Jr. Looks like you're starting third here on this restart. Good luck to you out there, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Kevin Kelly Jr. in the number 5 EPR Chevrolet. We'll be restarting third here on this restart. Ron Caranci, who was out in the lead when the caution came out, well, guess what? He inherits the lead here on this restart. It looks like we're at lap 61. They're going to be taking the restart here at lap 62. We take a look at all these wave arounds here. I'm showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lots of wave arounds here. Trying to get back on the lead lap with fresh tires since they had just pit. They were in front of the leader, but behind the pace car when that caution came out. So I am currently showing Ron Caranci in the lead, Frankie Samanto in second. Ben Britton is listed as third, but it's really Kevin Kelly Jr. is in third. Ben Britton fourth. Steve Deo is lining up fifth. Ben Rinaldi is sixth. Ron Merlino is seventh. Jeff Norway is in eighth. Jerry Hinkle looks like he is the first car one lap down. He is in ninth, and there's going to be, you know that there's going to be a huge battle for that lucky dog position with the way cautions have fallen, as we have now taken the green flag and the race is back underway. And Frankie Samano gets a nice jump on the restart with Ben Britton pushing him going into turn 1. Two by two exiting turn 2. Frank Samano and Ben Britton on the outside lane. Oh, Kevin Kelly Jr. shoots up behind Ben Britton there going into turn 3. You see Frank Samano takes the lead in that number 22 Caterpillar Toyota. We've got quite a nice little race up here with these lead lap vehicles. These guys are wanting to get gone. Don't know if these guys are going to be able to make it on one more stop or not. Again, these guys have been pitting far sooner than what the fuel window is supposed to be. So we'll see what the strategy call is here. If there is any strategy call, you see Frank Samanto is in the lead. Ron Caranци's in second. I wonder if Ron Caranци's gonna try and wants to grab the lead here. He's had a solid car all night. I wonder if he wants to try and get the lead and maybe see what that car can do up front with clean air on the nose. Ben Britton shoots up a little high. Steve Deo goes underneath him. He takes third, and Kelly Jr. restarted third on this restart. He's back to fifth now. I don't know if you know, a little bit of that right rear tire wear that he was talking about on that previous run might be a concern. Maybe he's trying to take it easy a little bit, try to save that right rear tire just a little bit. We'll have to keep an eye on that for sure. Ben Rinaldi is in sixth now, number 42 Cessna Chevrolet. He's had a solid run all night up to this point. Hasn't really been up front with the fast guys, but he's kept it clean. He's kept it nice and solid, and he's running a good race. Hopefully he's trying to get himself into position here at the end of the race to maybe try and get a even better finish, maybe even get up there and steal this thing. Rob Merlino is in seventh. Jeff Norway in eighth at number 54 Mountain Dew Kickstart Chevrolet Camaro. Jerry Hinkle is still currently showing as the first car one lap down. If the caution were to fall now, he would get the free pass around. But we know that John Kugler is definitely going to be trying to get into that position as well. So keep an eye on this battle, because this battle could be probably just as intense as the battle for the lead here in the closing stages of this race. We sit here and we ride on board with Frankie Samano looking out the back bumper. Ron Caranci is right up on the back bumper, and these guys are all, for the most part, in single file formation. You know, again, we talk about downforce all the time with these Xfinity cars, but you know, who knows? Maybe the track conditions could be changing, and it could be just gripping up a little bit. It is nighttime; it's starting to get a little bit cooler. See Steve Dale poking his nose to the outside there off of turn 4. Steve Dale liking the outside lane. Looks like he's gonna look like try and take a second from Mr. Caranci here. He's outside of him. Can Steve Dale complete the pass here on the outside? You got 6 cars in this lead pack, and it's only Steve Dale who's on the outside, and he's going for the lead. He's on the outside of Frank Simonto here down the front straightaway. Can he complete the pass, and will Frankie just, I'm sure Frankie doesn't want to give it up, that's for sure. Steve Dale to the outside for the lead. It's a drag race down the backstretch. Going off into turn 3, and now you're seeing cars take multiple lanes. You can see Ben Rinaldi is about a half lane up. He's in the 6th position right now. Cars are starting to get, the tires are starting to wear out. Kelly Jr. all the way on the apron down the front straightaway. Tires are starting to wear out a little bit. Cars starting to slide around a little bit, and now you're trying to see a couple different groups starting to form up here in the front here. And the battle for the lead is still continuing. Frank Simonto is not wanting to give up that lead. He is going to make Steve Dale work for it on the outside. Steve Dale's made some pretty good progress, though. He's still out there as well. Nobody is giving an inch here as they're battling for the lead here on lap 70. There's only 30 laps to go with this race, so if you got to start thinking about towards the end and start when you want to start making your move. Right on board here with Steve Dale. Take a zoom around here. Looks like he finally cleared Frankie Simonto, and Frankie Simonto now falls back to 2nd. Steve Dale, put him at the top of the chart right now. Steve Dale in at number 14, Bad Boy Buggies Ford Mustang, takes the lead here in Las Vegas with about 29 laps to go. Look at this racing that is happening out behind him. Now we've got multiple grooves once again. The tires starting to fall off. Cars are starting to slide around, and now you've got to make your car work in another part of the track, maybe instead of just on the inside lane. So it's going to be interesting to watch. Number 1, we're going to see if somebody can pull strategy, you know, because again, people have been short pitting, and there's a lot of smoke, and it looks like there's a car in the apron going into, or coming off of turn 4, excuse me. We'll try to see if we can pick that up quick. You see Kevin Kelly Jr. going for 3rd place. Let's see if we can pick up here. John Cross once again, unfortunately. His rough night continues. He's not had a good night tonight, unfortunately. Let's see if we can just sneak it back real quick. He was sideways coming into pit road. And you know, I don't know if there's something on this part of the track down in the apron or whatever the case is, but this is the 2nd car that we've seen go down through the apron on turns 3 and 4 and just spin completely out. I don't know if it's just because there's no grip down there on that apron or whatnot. It looked like John Cross was just trying to take it easy to get into pit road, and he ended up just looping it right around. So I don't know what's going on with that part of the track. I don't know if there might be some fluid or just because the track is so cool because it doesn't get run on a whole lot. But you know, that's unfortunate for him. His rough night continues. You see Norman Kraft is entering the pit road, and we have a race up here for the lead. Look at this battle. Wow, look at this. Ben Britton to the outside. He's going to try and take the 2nd spot from, trying to get to the outside of Frank Simonto and try to take that spot from the outside. And Frankie Simonto at the same time is going underneath Steve Dale for the lead, exiting turn 4. Ben Britton is going to go push. It looks like he's going to side with Frankie Simonto on this one. He's going to try and push him down that front straightaway, give him a little bit of drafting boost there, maybe even bump draft him, get him out in front of Steve Dale. And it looks like it might work here. Nope, Steve Dale's coming back to the outside just a little bit. Frankie Simonto for right now has the advantage. And what a race we've got up here with the front 6 cars. This is a good race. Obviously, you know it's getting to the end. People are going to start driving much more aggressive. They're going to try and get themselves into much better position. You see Kelly Jr. once again. Look at the run he got off of turn 4. He was able to get onto the apron and get underneath Ben Britton there. And we've got about 4 different grooves going in through 1 and 2. 4 cars and 4 different grooves. Steve Dale still has taken the lead from Frankie, but nobody is giving an inch. They're not going anywhere. Ben Britton on the outside. See if he can get the momentum on the I side here. Looks like he's going to fall right in line, but the outside lane starting to prevail and show its face just a little bit. Frankie Samato up high there. Looks like Kelly Jr. is going to try and get underneath of him. And he's got a fender, barely, but he's got a fender underneath him. What a race that we're having here at the latter stages of this USCRL Xfinity Series race. Almost contact right there between Ben Britton and Frankie Samato. Ben looked like he was trying to get off of turn 4. Car started pushing up on him. He almost made contact with Frankie, and that would not have been good at all, especially in this elite group of cars. Steve Deo. Steve Deo is definitely looking like he's got a strong car here towards the end of this race. I think he's probably got something to say, you know, to Kevin Kelly Jr., who's led most of the laps tonight. He's out front, but let me tell you something. Frankie Samato is a hungry, hungry man, and he wants to take that lead. Frankie Samato currently winless in the Xfinity Series and the USCRL Truck Series league events this season so far. Steve Dale looks like he's getting ready to pit. I don't think he's going to push it. He's not pushing his tires. We'll see if anybody else comes in right behind him. Well, it looks like as far as the front runners go, Steve Dale's the only car to come in pit road right now, and it is lap 81. He's cutting this run in half. Ran about 20 laps right there, and he's going to run only about 20 more when he comes out of pit road. So could be a good strategy call. Cut the run in half and just run as hard as you can for those 20 laps. So Frankie Samato in the lead. Kevin Kelly Jr. in second. There's Jeff Norway. You see Norway, he's on fresh tires. He's definitely on fresh tires. Kevin Kelly Jr. coming down pit road. Looks like Ben Britton's coming down pit road. Ron Caranci, we've got an influx of cars coming down pit road here. I think as soon as everybody saw that 14 car coming to pit road, everyone said, come in. We can't let him get that much distance on these fresh tires. Jerry Hinkle is on pit road as well. So looks like Steve Deo and his team kind of pulled the trigger on everybody else, and Steve Deo and a number of the lead lap cars are now on pit road. Frankie Samato, however, stays out, and we know that Frankie Samato is a very smooth driver. He takes it easy on his tires. Who knows? Can Frankie Samato try and push his car? Maybe not have to stop like these other guys. Can he push it and stay out front and win this race by conserving tires? Ron Merlino is in second right now. He's about 11.5 seconds back. Jerry Watson currently showing third after these not after these cycle of pit stops, but during the cycle of pit stops by the front runners here. Jerry Watson in third. Looks like he is coming onto pit road. John Peterson is currently fourth. Kevin Kelly Jr. takes over fourth. John Peterson is back to third. Now he's fourth. Yeah, it's hard to keep positions here. Frankie Samato is coming into the pits. He stayed out a couple more laps longer than some of these lead cars. Frankie Samato is now on pit road, and I'm pretty sure they're going to take 4 tires. And Ron Merlino now takes the lead. He inherits the lead. Let's see what Mr. Merlino does. Will he stay out a couple more laps, or will he try to come into pit road and stay on the same strategy as some of these other guys? But look at the difference in fresh tires versus old tires. All these cars that are passing Merlino right now are cars that already pit and are at least 1 lap down. You see Ben Rinaldi on the outside. He just drove right around Merlino. That is the difference right there on old tires versus new tires. And it looks like Merlino's going to be coming in. He's checking up. There he goes. Yep, he's coming into pit road. He gets loose. He's able to hang on to it, though. That was a nice save coming into pit road there. He was able to hang on to it. I don't know. That looked like it was kind of quick. I think Merlino may get caught for speeding right there. It looked like it was a little fast. We'll have to check in and see what the NASCAR officials rule on that one. So Merlino is in pit road, and this front pack is now broken up just a little bit. Kevin Kelly Jr., even though he was out a lap later than Steve Deo, he is in front. He managed to get out in front of Steve Deo, and now he is in the lead with just 14 laps left in this race. Steve Deo, however, I'm pretty sure is going to have something to say about that. You see him, look at Steve Deo get a run off of turn 2. He's right on the back bumper of Kevin Kelly Jr., and he is not going anywhere. Frankie Samato comes out third, and he's about a little over a second behind this front pack here. Frankie Samato did stay out a couple extra laps, and the time between those extra laps on pit road is probably that difference that you're seeing right now on the track. Ron Caranci is in 4th. He comes out 4th. Ben Britton in 5th. Ben Rinaldi in 6th right now. Jeff Norway is in 7th, and I am showing Ron Molino is in 8th. I believe Jerry Hinkle is still the first car, 1 lap down. Jerry Watson is in 10th. Trying to find where the leader is. We have a battle for the lead. Look at this with just about 12 laps to go. Steve Dale trying to make that outside lane work. They bumped on the backstretch. Look at this battle. Trading a little bit of paint. Steve Deo takes the lead from Kevin Kelly Jr. on the outside, and dare I say, trying to make a statement. Steve Deo, look at this, out in front with, I believe it's now 11 laps to go. Yes, correct, that's 11 laps to go. But I know that this battle is not over. I know Kevin Kelly Jr. is not going to let that go easily. And look at these other 3. Look at these guys. Look at these 3 cars behind them. They have caught these front 2 cars. They've stayed single file. And it looks like Kevin Kelly Jr. is going to try to get on the inside of Steve Dale here for the lead. Those guys racing side by side probably allowed those cars to catch up to them. It is now a 5-car pack with 10 laps to go. This is going to be a crazy, crazy finish. We're shaping up for one. Steve Dale takes the outside lane, and once again, he takes the lead back from Kevin Kelly Jr. And like I said, I know these guys are not done. Look at Frank Samato on the outside lane. He is past Kevin Kelly Jr., and he's on the outside of Steve Dale. Can he make it work on the outside lane? We've seen Steve Dale do it. Let's see if Samato can do it. He is on the outside right now. Let's see if he can get a bite off of turn 2 and get the straight shot down the straightaway. Oh, close racing here in the final laps here in the USCRL Xfinity race live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Look at this. Look at this battle. Kevin Kelly Jr. to the apron. He's going to try and make it 3 wide. 3 wide going into turn 1. Oh, man. Oh, wow. I don't know how they made that stick. Wow, that was... Oh! Contact right there with Steve Dale and Kevin Kelly Jr. This race, guys, is not over. It is not over. Frankie Samato is in the lead. Look at Kevin Kelly Jr. He is trying all he can right now to get around. Frankie is up on the back bumper of that Caterpillar Toyota. And he's looking on the inside here. He's looking inside. Can't make it stick going into turn 1. He drops back a little bit. Frankie Samato, I know he has not had a win yet in this Xfinity Series or the Truck Series here in the USCRL Series. I know I'm saying series a lot of times. I'm a little excited right now. This is going to be a great race. But Frankie Samato for sure is winless so far in the USCRL division. He wants a win badly. He's going to have to try to hold off 7-time winner this season already, Kevin Kelly Jr. He's going to have to hold off in order to hold off some pretty big company there in order to try to get this first win of the season. Look at this battle. 5 cars under a blanket. It's kind of settled out for now as we have we're coming to 5 laps to go. And Kelly Jr. on the apron. Look at Frankie Samato here. Driving hard as he can. I know Frankie has got to be chewing through the steering wheel. He wants to get back to... He wants to get to the white flag first and foremost. Kevin Kelly Jr., nice run. Looking on the inside, going into turn 3. Can he make it stick? Well, it looks like Frankie's going to get the bite off of turn number 4. we have a nice little battle here for third as Ron Caranci and Ben Britton are fighting hard. They are fighting hard for third spot here. This is all, again, who knows? Something could happen. They could be fighting for third, but something can happen, and they could be fighting for the win all of a sudden. And Steve Dale, unfortunately, has drifted back just a little bit. I don't know if this set of tires maybe agreed or disagree with his car. Maybe his car's not handling. But I don't know if he's trying to take it easy. I don't know if he's actually slipping back. But he is back to 5th spot right now as you see the leaders navigate the lap car of Jeff Norway. And look at this battle for the lead. Kelly Jr. pushed him down into turn 1. And he slides up in front of behind Frankie there. Tried to get him maybe a little bit loose. Maybe try to touch his bumper to get him a little bit stirred up. And look who's joined the fray. Ben Britton in third. 3 cars under a blanket. We have 2. We're coming to 2 laps to go. This is going to be a battle right here. Kelly Jr. again looking on the inside of Frankie Samato in turn 1 looks like he's not going to be able to complete the pass. Frankie is holding on to that lead. You see Steve Dale and Ron Caranci, they've drifted back. Looks like that they won't be in contention here towards the end of this race. This is going to be a battle. Looks like Ben is also falling back as well. It looks like we are coming to the white flag right here. 1 more lap to go. Can Frankie hold on, or will Kevin Kelly Jr. manage to pass Frankie here on the final lap? Down the backstretch they go. Kelly Jr. is a little bit, about a couple car lengths back. Can he make up the distance? It doesn't look that way. Checkered flag is in the air. Get the victory to Frankie Samato and the number 22 Caterpillar Toyota. Oh my goodness. What a win for this team. Frankie Samato picking up the big win here at Las Vegas tonight. Big congratulations to him. Kevin Kelly Jr. unfortunately was right there, just could not close the deal in time. Kelly Jr. finishing 2nd. Ben Britton finishes 3rd. Steve Dale 4th place, and Ron Caranci rounds out your top 5. Ben Rinaldi 6th. Ron Merlino 7th. Jeff Norway finishes 8th. Jerry Watson 9th. Jerry Hinkle rounds out the top 10. John Kugler in 11th. Norman Kraft is still trying to get to the checkered flag here. He is in 12th. John Peterson rounds out 13th. Kevin Ring 14th. John Cross 15th. Frank Jockman 16th. Brian Niels 17th. And Chris Melton, a fortunate incident for him. He finishes 18th. What a win for Frankie Samato. And you cannot say that it was handed to him easily because, again, Kevin Kelly Jr. and he had a group of about 5 cars behind him hungry for this win. Very, very hungry for this win. So he had to work for it big time. Again, big congratulations to Frankie Samato. Guys, we're going to step away real quick. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with your some of your top finishers in tonight's USCRL Xfinity Series race, live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Do not go away. Stick around, and we will be right back.
User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel.
What's up?
What's up?
I had a lot of fun, Junior.
Yeah, me too.
I knew what you were doing, you know, when we were just riding. I knew what you were doing. When, after you seen tires blow, you kind of thought the same thing I
User
think.
was
Let's
moved
go
to
as
your
far as we can go.
I was trying to get it slide a little bit and wear out that right rear before the right front.
I tried the same thing. It didn't work.
Should have heard me. You guys should have heard me in the booth with 10 laps to go. I was going nuts. I was
It's
like,
not like Atlanta 01.
I was like, I was like, oh my god. I was like, 10 laps to go and there's 6 cars under a blanket. Who's gonna come away with this one?
Frank did a really good job.
I just destroyed that right front those last 5 laps.
Yeah. Frank had me hanging on the outside. I was trying to clear him and then try to set the pace, and I couldn't do it.
We're gonna be coming back here in just a minute.
That's the kind of racing I like.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the USCRL Xfinity Series race live from live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I have run all the way from the broadcast booth all the way to the garage. Trust me, I am out of breath doing it. I'm standing by here with 4th place finisher Steve Deo. And Steve, looking back, it looks like you had a really fast car there, especially towards the end of the race, using the outside lane to pass cars. But looked like you faded back at the end there. What happened towards the end of the race?
Just used up my equipment.
Yeah, we know that. We saw that you were the first team to pull the trigger and come into pit road just a little bit early, trying to maybe trying to split up the last run there into 2 different runs. Did you have any? And again, we saw a lot of right front tire wear as well. Did you have any concern or right front tires tonight?
I didn't. I never even got a warning, so I was doing pretty good.
10-4 on that. You looks like you had a real strong car once again. Unfortunately, you dropped back there. Talk about the racing there in the final 10 laps because it was pretty exciting from the booth.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. They gave me a run for my money, that's for sure. Frank did a really good job. Everybody raced clean. That's the kind of racing that should be done.
I fully agree with that, sir. So, Steve Dale, 4th place tonight. Congratulations on your run, sir. Is there anybody
Thank
you'd
you.
like to give a shout out to?
Just Frank. Good job, Frank.
10-4 on that. So, Steve Dale, 4th place finisher, and we're just going to kind of walk down the garage here. Actually, excuse me, not even on the garage here. He's still on pit lane. The crew's getting everything set up. Ben Britton in 3rd place. He comes home 3rd in the number 23 Toyota Camry. Ben, walk us through your night.
I mean, I traded conservative from the get-go since I seen a lot of tire issues during practice. It actually happened during the race, so I was just trying to make sure I'd save my equipment toward the last one.
Yeah, we noticed you started a little bit further back in the pack, and some of the commentators they were kind of wondering, if you were trying to save your stuff and maybe try to pull some more strategy. Again with something that we know you do quite a bit, but it looks like you ended up working your way up to about 5th before pit stop started happening. It looked like your car was very fast. Again, we saw a lot of right front issues tonight. Any troubles on your end as far as your vehicle is concerned?
No, I just ran Tertiary all night.
10-4 on that. Ben coming home in 3rd place. Exciting finish there towards the end. The outside lane, it looked like it started coming to you a little bit. Did it start rubbering up there towards the end of the race?
I believe so. I think it looked like it was better on the long one instead of way after caution or something.
10-4. So, Ben Britton, congratulations on your 3rd place finisher. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
And it's nice seeing a Toyota win the race with Frankie taking home the win when that Caterpillar number 22.
10-4 on that. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Britton, your 3rd place finisher tonight. And we're just going to take a stroll back to the garage. And we've caught up here with Kevin Kelly Jr., the driver of the number 5 unsponsored Chevy Camaro. He was also our in-race reporter tonight. Kelly Jr., we know we talked under that one caution about the tire wear, how it shifted from the right front to the right rear that one race. How about towards the end? Did you have any tire wear issues, especially when Steve Dale kind of cut that run in half? Was there any tire issues?
It definitely went to the right front. That's actually probably what cost us the race. We just got a little bit away from what we were doing on that longer run, trying to keep up with Frankie and Steve and all them. And yeah, right front just really took a beating.
Yeah, Frankie Simano definitely looked like he had a fast car for sure, especially towards the end of the race. Talk about the racing there in the final 10 laps. So I know there were a couple times where you were right on Frankie's bumper, trying to maybe get him a little loose, maybe to get him up the track a little bit. It looked exciting from the booth. Can you walk us through what it was from your point of view?
To me, it felt a lot like probably what a lot of those drivers felt like in Atlanta in 2001. And it was really clean racing. It was a lot of fun, and there's a lot of swapping of positions, and it was great fun.
Absolutely. And Kelly Jr., we know you've been on a tear so far in the USCRL series. It's another second place finish for you tonight. I know it's not a win, but good job on your finish tonight, sir. Is anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
I'd like to shout out to Dwayne and everybody else that makes RSN run. Dale for broadcasting, you do a great job with there. My dad for creating EPR and getting me into this. And hopefully you'll have a sponsor in this car next week.
With the way you ran tonight, I would not doubt it at all, sir. You find a sponsor for next week. So, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Kelly Jr., your second place finisher tonight here in the USCRL Xfinity Series race, live from Las Vegas, and we're gonna stroll right over here to the big winner tonight, Frankie Simano. We were talking right on the broadcast how you've been winless so far this season. It's maybe not been the best season for you, but congratulations on the big win tonight. Talk us through your night there, Frankie.
The night started off pretty well. Basically, my crew chief was just telling me, be patient, save your equipment. And there'll be a time in the race when it comes toward the end of the 80 laps there. And pretty much that's what we did. What I did. You got down time to race time. I raced.
Absolutely. Definitely looked like you hit the afterburners, especially towards the end of the race. We had noticed, earlier on in the race, a lot of people seemed to be short pitting. I don't know if it was a strategy ploy or if it was something they really did, but we noticed your car in particular can go a lot longer on runs. Was there something different maybe in the setup that you had a little bit, or maybe just a little bit of a different, more of a conservative approach versus other people?
Yeah, it was a little bit more of a conservative approach, just trying to keep the car clean, the fender straight. And basically, we were on a fuel run strategy, run it to the end, get tires, and see what happens.
10-4 on that, Frankie. And those last 10 laps were exciting. They were very exciting. We noticed you took the lead on the outside, and it looks like you were able to hold them off there. But Frankie, I can imagine it must have been white knuckle racing. How would you describe those final 10 laps in your mind?
The final 10 laps was fun. That's how I would describe it. We had a very good and clean racing up front. No one was pulling any dirty tricks, so we were able to sit there and race and have fun, and that was how I would describe the end.
10-4 on that, Frankie. Again, big congratulations on your first USCRL victory, whether it be the trucks or the Xfinity. Frankie, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to tonight on your big win?
I'd like to thank all the drivers. This is nothing without the drivers. You got to thank the admins. They put up with a lot of BS behind the scenes, and you for throwing out this beautiful broadcast.
We do appreciate that, Frankie. And I try not to be biased, but Frankie, congratulations! It's always good to see somebody, somebody get their first win, but somebody with as much class as much smoothness as you do. It's really great to see you get into victory lane. So, winners, everybody, Frankie Simano, the big winner tonight, and I believe we got time for one more interview, and this is an interview that I am glad that we are having. We have caught up here with Brian Niels in a number 32 car. Brian, we saw what happened on the track with the big wreck and the flip. I want to ask you, how you feeling? Well, looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties on this one. I don't think. Yep. I don't think. I think Brian's already left out for the evening. So, unfortunately, that looks like the interviews that we have. We'll have to try to get a word on on Brian later on during the week, see if everything's all right there. But that was definitely a nasty hit for him, as we saw coming into pit road, and he got hit in the driver's door. So stay tuned. We'll get more information as that develops. As far as I know, he did walk out of the car. He did walk out under his own power. So from everybody here at USCRL, and my name is Dale Reynolds, and we were able to bring you this flag-to-flag coverage of tonight's Las Vegas race. It was a great race towards the end. I thank you guys for watching, and hopefully we will see you guys next week. It was a great race, and Frankie Samato is the big winner tonight. Don't miss out, guys, because next week is going to be just as wild as it was tonight. So thank you guys for watching, and we hope to catch you guys next week. Until then, have a great week.